Hey yo, what is going on? Viewers of the tube, if you don't know by now, I'm the one and only host of the channel you watch to please your eyes and your ears with something different than the normal crypto content. Kind of like if the movie 300 ended like this.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me.
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. You know our smash mouth. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, after that bullish momentum we showed 2 days ago, which was most likely built on Tether prints on the Tron blockchain given to the Chinese crypto exchange washing machines, and it has stopped like predicted. And Bitcoin is on its way down. After getting rejected from the mid 8.5K resistance level, a quick collapse down to 8K support, which only held for a few hours. And now we are under 7.9K as of shooting this video. So another 6K level touch is not out of the realm of possibility, especially when you take a look at the macroeconomic climate of BTC here in the United States. What do I mean? Well, regulated rehypothecation focused futures markets are getting highly interesting, which includes their unfortunate partner in crime, the unregulated futures markets. Volume from some of the top futures exchanges, regulated and not, reached over $20 billion 2 days ago for the very first time. The culprits unregulated, BitMEX, OKX, Huobi, and Binance. The culprits regulated, CME and Bakkt. Now, pulling out that volume chart again, the last time we had that high of volume was on December 18th. And pulling out the Bitcoin price chart then, this was when we had the 6K dip, most likely meaning a majority of that volume was going along at the time. And the next biggest spike, besides the most recent one, was around January 2nd and 3rd, which again, pulling out that price chart, that was when we had the dip into the high 6K levels. Most likely, a majority of the futures contracts then were longs. So it's pretty obvious that the majority of the leverage positions that were put out on the 8th, they were shorts. So let's salute our shorts and hope after this a rebalancing comes, because having these exchanges like Binance, BitMEX, Bybit, and more, and the traders who inhabit it, supporting downward pressure is ridiculous. And all of this leads me into who exactly is the ringleader of rehypothecation, painting the picture that they are here to help Bitcoin, yet they have turned completely to the dark side, as it was their plan all along. What company? Bakkt. And the ringleader? Cool Kelly Loeffler, former CEO. Now, if you have been watching the Chico channel over the past 6 months, I have been slowly but surely exposing Bakkt, ICE, the New York Stock Exchange, Kelly, and her husband, Jeff Sprecher. What is it I have been showing the world? Bakkt and their physical Bitcoin warehouse might just be a place where Bitcoin goes to never be returned. Details regarding physical delivery out of Bakkt warehouse to a customer's own public key is pretty much non-existent. Futures commission merchants, the exchanges the contracts get traded at, all don't deal in physical delivery. I've included the full series of Bakkt exposed videos in the description, and I highly recommend you watch them to get the full evolution of this investigation. So what has happened since my last look? Well, Kelly Loeffler stepped down as the CEO of Bakkt to take on a new position, which she got sworn into 3 days ago. Georgia's newest U.S. Senator. She wasn't voted in like normal, she was appointed by Georgia's Governor Brian Kemp after GOP Senator Johnny Saxon resigned. Isn't that just convenient, going from the old, frail GOP man to the smart, cunning, sexy, young woman Republican? From this Washington Post article, where Kemp talks about Loeffler, he said this: like Ivanka Trump, she is a smart, accomplished, and savvy business executive. And like our president, Kelly is ready to take on the status quo, the politically correct, and the special interests. She knows that Washington is fundamentally broken. Oh really? Then why in the hell is she and her husband, Jeff Sprecher, donating like madmen to this fundamentally broken system? Both sides, Democrat and Republican. It's a long and very valuable list of donations to the creators of a broken system. don't you try and BS a BSer.
I know why you're here, so don't BS a BSer.
You are correct, Jane Lynch. Well, you would think a Senate seat would be enough for old Kelly, eh? Nah, she needs more power, especially in the arena where she and her husband make billions of dollars from ICE, the Intercontinental Clearing Exchange, and the New York Stock Exchange. Yes, they are co-owners, husband and wife, and bought them both in 2013. But the power isn't coming from this, it's coming from the governmental body that oversees some of the assets traded on their platforms. Yup, as batshit crazy as this sounds, Kelly Loeffler now has a position on the Senate to oversee the CFTC, or the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, which screams of an absolutely disgusting conflict of interest. From ICE documentation, of which she is part owner in, our U.S. futures exchange, ICE Futures US, is subject to extensive regulation by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or CFTC, under the Commodity Exchange Act, or CEA. How this is allowed is baffling me. Our political system is about as corrupt as it gets at the moment, with the tentacles of Wall Street choking out any chance of freedom for the citizens of the United States. Kelly and Jeff, they have all the futures in their pockets. Precious metals, agriculture, oil, stocks, and now Bitcoin, and they are going to be overseeing the CFTC? How this is allowed, you just need to figure out that Kelly is our president's, Donnie Trump's, good friend. Before all of this appointments to the Senate overseeing the CFTC, Kelly was handpicked by Donald to attend the Women FIFA Cup World Final as his delegation. He even made a special announcement for it in July of last year. And now within 6 months, she is on our Senate and overseeing the CFTC. It's the rich and elite's way to full control, but also an attack at Bitcoin at the same time. And I made this prediction before. Kelly Loeffler is shaping to be the GOP's presidential nominee for 2024. It's their woman presidential candidate that, unlike Sarah Palin, has the chops to win. She is smart, she is savvy, she is a business mogul like Trump. But unlike Trump, she is a woman. And after 8 years of Donnie and accusations of sexual misconduct against him, she would be the perfect puppet and possibly their only chance to win. Her movement up the political ladder with no prior experience reeks of elite privilege. The only thing the elite don't have control of is Bitcoin. And Bakkt and their physical delivery? One big lie in my opinion. They never planned on creating a robust futures market that abided by the economic rules of the Bitcoin blockchain. It was a ruse to get them in the door with the crypto crowd. And it did. And now Bakkt cash-settled futures are officially launched. And let's just go check out the data. First, let's look at total contracts traded, 1,207. I wonder what type they are, which ones are physical and which ones are cash. Let's just look at the cash-settled Bitcoin futures monthly contract. Description: a cash-settled monthly futures contract for Bitcoin. Data? Well, look at that. Every single 1,207 of those contracts is cash-settled. Sucks being lied to, don't it? You need more? This blog post from Bakkt, where they announce they are going to be providing custody of institutions' Bitcoins for players around the world. Their first clients, some of the VC scum of the industry that need shredded apart. Pantera Capital, Tagami, and Galaxy Digital, owned by Mike Novogratz, who just might have been a Tether client. Well, viewers, I'm trying my best to keep up with the flurry of info, and day by day I will bring in you what I know. When the future of money is on the line, it's going to bring the rats, snakes, and cockroaches from out of the darkness and into the light. Cheers. I'll see you next time.